Fishing, fishing, fishing. You've done it, I've done it. It's a gamer's favorite minigame. Today, it seems like any dev is willing to slap fishing onto their game. While there are plenty of in-depth and engaging fishing minigames like Stardew Valley and Red Dead Redemption, some are better than most, with the majority being simple timing challenges.
Hooray!
This is not the case with Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia.
It appears that solo developer Bryce B loves fishing minigames so much that he decided to make an entire game based on the concept.
The plot of Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia is pretty much non-existent. You play as this guy. You are a new fisherman, and you want to fish in the beautiful Lake Ophelia, a magical lake that contains rare fish from all over the world. Throughout your time playing, you meet this guy. His job is to supply you with all the necessary fishing equipment to help you on your journey. And that's it! It's time to go fishing and have a grand old time. Obviously, there's a little more to it than that, but discussing further would involve spoilers. As for gameplay, Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia involves fishing.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Fishing is broken up into two stages, casting and reeling in. To cast, you pick a spot, line up your cursor with a fish, then you cast the lure and wait for it to sink down. When the lure reaches the same depth as the fish, you can start pulling the lure towards you. This will shove the lure in the fish's face and cause it to bite it. Unless you're me, I guess. I swear, this was the hardest part of the whole game. I would either miss the fish entirely, or it would turn around and swim away when I got close.
No! No! No!
I even had moments where the fish would completely ignore the lure no matter how close I was.
We do not care.
Alright, let's reel it in. Reeling in involves holding a button down to pull the fish to the surface. Unfortunately, you cannot do this the whole time because the fish fights back. If you reel in while the fish is resisting, tension will start to build, which is conveyed by solid sound design. If you continue to fight against the fish, the line will snap and the fish will escape. Reeling in involves a careful balance of pulling as fast as you can when the fish is tired and carefully battling the fish when it fights back. If done successfully, you caught a fish, which can then be sold to this guy for equipment.
Equipment is the main form of progression in Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia. Equipment comes in two forms, rods and lures. Rods allow the player to cast further into the center of the lake. This is important as all the rare fish like to hang out right in the middle. Lures are a little different as they affect the gameplay in two ways, attraction and depth. Attraction increases the range where a fish notices your lure. Having a lure with high attraction makes catching fish much easier. Depth is also very helpful. It allows your lure to sink deeper and deeper and deeper. This allows the player to catch rare fish that like to hang out at the bottom of the lake. Both of these systems combine to create a decently fulfilling progression system. One of Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia's most unique aspects is its striking visual style and atmosphere. The game takes inspiration from the visual style of PS1 and N64 games. My first console was the PS3, but by looking at the source material, this seems like a faithful interpretation of a game that would have come out during that time period. Strong sound design also helps this game's atmosphere immensely. Details like birds chirping in the morning and crickets chirping at night help the player become more immersed in the world of the game. The lack of sound underwater makes the environment feel both serene and eerie at the same time. Also, Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia has a couple of original songs I've been playing throughout this review. All of these factors combine to create an immersive and engaging environment. Before we wrap up this review, I want to talk about the ending of the game, so if you're trying to avoid spoilers, I recommend skipping to this timestamp. After selling many fish, you are finally able to afford the most expensive rod and lure, the Industrial Hyper Rod and the Sunken Maiden. These tools allow you to cast deep into the middle of the lake. Throughout the game, a green light glows in the middle of the lake at night. Now that you have the most expensive rod and lure, you are able to investigate this strange glow. After landing your lure on the glowing spot, your lure sinks deep into the lake. When your lure reaches the bottom, it goes through an open hatch instead. Once it passes through the hatch, the lure sinks deep into a dark abyss that seems to contain an unknown structure. After sinking for about a minute, you wake up in a cave that would trigger anyone with trypophobia. By holding the reel in button, you can pull yourself further into the cave. After you disappear into the dark, a cutscene plays. After rewatching the ending, I'm just as confused as the first time I watched it. Even though I love claymation, the ending is one of the few issues I have with the game. In conclusion, Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia is a relaxing fishing game with a strong art direction, gameplay loop, and atmosphere. This would be enough to create a complete package. However, as previously mentioned, Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia has a lot going on underneath the surface. So if you're a fan of fishing, horror, or a bit of both, I recommend playing Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia. Hello, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm still very new to this whole YouTube thing, so feedback would be appreciated. I'll probably make another video like this in a couple months, so subscribe if you want to. Oh, I think I got a bite. I'm reeling in. Wow, that's a nice fish.